Hello students. We are going to turn to the next odd page in our notebook and write the title Everyday Percents. We've looked at how to use the 10% rule, how to set up proportions, how to use the equation, and today we're going to look at how percents are used in the real world, because usually you don't just calculate the percent of something, you find the percent of something and then you use it. Tax, tip, commission, and discount are examples of times when you would need to use a percent. A tax rate is actually a percentage. So when you go to the store and you have to pay tax on an item, the more money the item you buy costs, the more tax you'll have to pay. There's a proportional relationship there. Tax is a percentage of the item. Tip. Sometimes you can just say, well, I'm going to leave a $5 tip, but a lot of times tip is calculated by percentage as well. You want to make sure that you're leaving at least a certain amount of the bill for the tip. So if you go to a restaurant and your bill is $20, you don't have to leave quite as much of a tip as you would if you go to a restaurant and your bill was $80. The more the bill was, the greater the tip should be. Commission. Which commission is a way that some people get paid. A lot of salesmen get paid on commission. And when you hear that they get paid on commission, what that means is they get some money just for working, but they get extra money every time they sell something. And it's a percentage of their sales. And then a discount, you're familiar with that. That's when you go to the store and something's 20% off. You're getting to calculate that amount and take it away. So how do you use these everyday percents like tax, tip, commission, and discount? First, you have to find an actual amount of tax, tip, commission, or discount. Whatever that thing is, you need to find out how much it is. So if I know that I want to leave a 15% tip, I need to figure out how many actual dollars that is before I can do anything with it. Then the second step is to apply your tax, tip, or discount to the total. Let's look at an example. James's dinner bill was $50. If James leaves a 20% tip, what is the final cost? Well, his dinner bill is $50. That's the total cost of his dinner. And if he leaves a 20% tip, that means, here's my total of 100. If the bill is 100, then the tip needs to be $20. 20%, that's what that means. If he leaves a 20% tip, what is the final cost? So first thing I need to do is find out how much actual tip he's going to leave. I'm comparing the tip to the total bill. If the bill was $100, this 20% tells me that the tip would be $20. But the total bill is not $100, the bill is $50. Therefore, what is my tip? Well, I can see easily that the relationship between 100 and 50 is that I'm dividing by 2. So I'm going to do the same on top. My tip needs to be $10 because this X is 10. If the tip is $10, what is my final cost going to be? Well, the final cost is the bill, what it originally was, plus the tip. When you add a tip to something, you don't get to just pay the tip, you also have to pay the bill. So the tip is $10, the final bill is $60. It is important to write both of these pieces of information down so you don't get confused as to what you're looking for. This question wants the final cost, so my answer is $60. I had to figure out what the tip was before I could get the final cost, and I used my proportion to figure out the tip. Let's look at another example. It says, Carl earns 5% commission on a $12,000 sale this week. If his base pay is $500 per week, how much does Carl earn? Well, I have 5% commission. That means that for every $100 of sales, he gets $5. Every time he sells $100, he gets $5. That's what that 5% commission is telling me. And the sale was $12,000. If his base pay is $500 per week, how much does he earn? Well, that $500 he gets no matter what. So we're going to make sure we add this in at the end. But that has no place in my proportion. That's something totally separate. So I'm comparing the amount that he gets to the amount that he sells. The sale to what he gets. If he sells $100 worth of merchandise, he gets $5. But he didn't sell $100 worth of merchandise. He sold $12,000 worth of merchandise. And I want to figure out how much money he gets there. So you can use scale factor here. 100 times 120 will give me 12,000. So 5 times 120, or you can cross multiply. You can say 5 times 12,000, 100 times x. We're going to go ahead and use scale factor. 100 times 120 will give me 12,000. 5 times 120, let's see what it is. 120 times 5 is $600. So the amount that he gets for commission is $600. He gets $600 and he gets the base pay no matter what. He gets $500. So how much total money is he going to make? This week he's going to make $500 plus $600, which is $1,100. That's how much money he gets. You have to take the commission and add it to the base pay. Remember, commission is something additional to what you normally would get paid anyway. Everyday percents, we see them in life all the time. I didn't show you an example of discount because we've actually been working with those quite a bit already, and I don't want you to think it's something different than what we've already done. But we're going to look at some of those in class. We're going to really focus on commission. So if this concept of a base pay plus a commission is confusing for you, we're really going to hit that hard in class tomorrow. Thanks for doing your notes. Have a good evening, and we'll see you tomorrow.